Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. So guys, it's been quite some time, maybe a week or so, since I've been able to make a recording. I apologize, I've been extremely busy with work. I know many of you guys are not working right now, but I'm in healthcare. I have a healthcare business, so I'm always busy. I'm always working. So today I wanted to make a recording about rejection. All right, guys, so there's this misconception out here in the world that beautiful people do not get rejected. You know what I mean? Like, and that can be a handsome guy, a handsome girl. You know, I've heard so many times, even in my own personal life, like, oh my God, there's no way in the world that someone cheated on you, or there's no way in the world that someone rejected you. And it's truly a misconception. Like, I think as humans, we're just too much in our own little brains and our own little thoughts that we figure that everyone else has this perfect life except ourselves. Well, the first thing I want to say is this right here. Rejection doesn't have anything to do with you most of the times. I'm not going to say all the times. I mean, I don't know. But most of the times it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the other person. Say, for example, say that you're a guy who really have his stuff together. Like, you know, you're successful, not saying rich, but you're just successful, meaning you know what you want. You know, you have a lot of balance and order in your life. Okay, you're not going to just settle for just any okie doke female. For some reason, sometimes good guys like bad girls, but I'm speaking about a guy who really have his stuff together. He may even have custody of his... I know what you're saying. Turn off your DMs, girl. He may have custody of his children or whatever. So he doesn't want just any type of woman in his life. So he needs you to have your stuff together just as well, right? There's a misconception that females think that a rich man just want a pretty girl. Most times a man who really have his stuff together needs you to have your stuff together. That's not saying all, because you know you have some men out here who have their stuff together and they just want arm candy. Is it eye candy? Whatever. Eye candy, arm candy, someone beautiful in their arms. And if that's the case, it's not going to last. I mean, it's going to maybe last a few months, even a couple of years, but that's going to get old after a while. So, yeah. So I just want to first address that. Just because a person is what you think would be beautiful or handsome, it doesn't mean that they don't deal with rejection. Because again, it has to deal with the other person and not always you. Now, I just addressed a man who may have his stuff together. Now, let's address a woman who may have her stuff together, right? All right, she's holding it down for her and her children, and she has a great job, and, you know, she's doing things by the book. Well, she's not going to want a thug at the bus stop with his pants hanging down. No shade to the bus stop, because I mean, you may be somebody who just might be in a bad season, a down season, and that may be your alternative. You know, for this season. I stress this season, not for good. This season. So she may feel like, well, that's not somebody who I want in my life, because if I'm a hard worker and if I can provide for my family, and he cannot, that's not all right. So that means it's not that she's rejecting you. It just means that in this season in her life, she needs someone who can meet her, you know, halfway and bring to the table what she can bring. So again, we're too much in our own heads, thinking that if someone says they don't want us, that it's something wrong with us as the individual, versus where that person is in their own particular season. So what I had to learn is this in my own personal life is this. You have to get to the point where you develop your confidence and your self-esteem so much where you know without a doubt, that you are the prize. Because if you are the prize, and you know you are the prize because you really have put the work in, you got your self-esteem up, you know, you got whatever area that you may have been insecure about. You have that all worked out now, and you know that you've done the work. When you know that you are the prize, then it doesn't matter who rejects you or who doesn't want you. You, in your mind, is like, okay, it's your loss. It's your loss. Point blank, period. But if you're still doubting certain areas in your mind because you really didn't put that work in and completed those insecure areas, then you will start to think that, maybe I'm not cute enough, or maybe I'm not X, Y, and Z enough, especially if he chose someone over you, because you haven't developed, your self-esteem at 100% capacity where you know that you're the prize. Like right now, if I get rejected, it's like, dude, you don't even know what you just did. You don't even know what you just lost. You have no idea that you just missed your blessing. But that's now. Where maybe 5 years ago, I would have felt like, was she cuter? Was she X, Y, and Z? Now, I wouldn't make a big scene about it because that's just not who I am. I'm not going to sit here and go up against battle with anybody. If you choose this person, that's who you choose. Now, I have to be honest enough to say that I haven't dealt with a whole lot of rejection in my life, but I have. And sometimes it can even come from, childhood. When your fathers are really not there the way they should be. That's a form of rejection right there. You only see your father once a month. Whenever he comes to get you, whenever, whatever. That's a form of rejection. And you get used to that. So then you start dating, early on in life. And you're dating 15, well, that's a little young, but 17, 18, 19. At that point, no one really knows who they are. So they're going to do things to hurt you. Now you feel rejected. You feel like, okay, he likes the girl in ninth grade because she's lighter or because her hair is longer. So you're comparing yourself to her because you have not developed your self-esteem. And before you know it, it's another seed of rejection. And it carries on to later on in life. So now you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever it may be. And you are still dealing with this form of rejection. And we all are human. We're human. So we all deal with our own stuff. It is what it is. Let's keep it real here. But I promise you, if you separate yourself from people and you start dating God, not to force God on anyone, and you start to develop the areas that are broken, that will then in turn develop your self-esteem and your confidence, you will then realize that you are the prize, and that anyone you meet, if they do not want you, whoever that may be, a woman, a man, a dog, a cat, whatever, if they don't want you, it has nothing to do with you. That is just not ordained. It is just not in your journey to your destiny. It's not about you as an individual. It's just about the different circumstances that lead you on your journey. Or it's just maybe about a person who's not ready to receive you because you are too much for them. You know who you are. You're confident. But they may be broken and lost. Do you know how intimidating it is for a broken and a lost person to be approached by a confident person who have their stuff together? That's very intimidating. So it's easy for them to turn you down. They're not going to say to you, well, you got your stuff together and I'm really intimidated by you and I just don't know how to handle you. They're not going to tell you that. But when they don't return your call or they don't invite you out on that date, you start to feel like, what did I do wrong? Nothing, boo. You are everything. You are the prize because you've done the work. When you walk in the room, you demand attention. When you walk in the room, you got choices. When you look in your phone, you got choices because you know who you are. But you're selective now on who you choose because you know you're the prize. You're the ish. And nobody can take that from you because you put the work in. And you can't put that work in with everybody pulling from you. You can't put that work in bouncing from relationship to relationship. You got to have a single season. You got to have that season where you're strictly dating God. I know it ain't going to be easy, but you got to do it. You got to do it. So guys, I just wanted to let you know, if you're being rejected, it's not about the chick who looks better than you or who have a banging body. Look at Beyonce. Come on. money, looks, she got cheated on. It's not about that. But Jay-Z was a broken individual. He had broken wings. So it just goes to show that it's not about you, it's about that person. But the best thing you can do is to build up yourself, your broken areas. That way, if it shall happen to you, then you know that it is not about you, it's about that person. So I want to just encourage you guys, like, stop hating on the next chick, hating on the next dude, trying to make their life miserable because you think like they have it all together because they look a certain way. No. Trust me, they're going through just as much heartache and pain as you are or have went through that. It has nothing to do with that. So I want to encourage you guys to just keep continuing to work on yourself. Keep continuing to date God. And, get your self-esteem, your confidence, your purpose, and your calling. Get all that stuff aligned and build up. That way, if someone rejects you, you know it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with that person. So, you guys have a great evening. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.